Guys, I know I haven't done a video in a while. Actually pretty excited right now because my husband got me this really cool like stand with a light on it. So I've been able to take like a bunch of pictures of my makeup and stuff, and they look really cool. And so I was thinking about doing another video, and I was like, I always just jerry-rigged the camera and used my phone, which is terrible quality. I will admit I am not good at editing videos. I have iMovie, can't figure out how it works for the life of me. Every time I watch like the clip on Google Play, I get so frustrated because they make it look so easy and I just can't figure it out. The music that is playing in the background, if you can hear it, I don't own any of the rights to it. I just wanted to come on here and touch base with you guys on where I'm at with my recovery. And, you know, hopefully by hearing my story, you'll feel motivated to also give up alcohol or your drug of choice. So basically, I'll be sober for 3 years the last week of June, I believe. So last week of June, first week of July, somewhere around there. I don't actually know my sober day. I know I should, but I don't. To be truthful, when I first started giving up alcohol, I was still drinking around the time that I got my second DUI. It was bad because I knew I needed to stop drinking and I didn't want to drink, but like I still had the addiction. So I was still going for it. Like not as much as I was before, for sure. Like I cut back a ton, but it still just wasn't healthy. It wasn't a healthy habit. So that's why I'm saying like it's somewhere between the end of June and the first week of July. I just say the end of June because I actually think that it was earlier than that, but I think I added attrition on just to cover myself because I didn't want to feel like I was cheating. I know. It doesn't matter about that at all. Trust me, that's not even the point. But yeah, so almost 3 years. Does it come up every once in a while? Yeah, it does. I'm not like, ooh, I would love a beer, or ooh, I'd love to have wine with dinner, or I want to go get shit-faced. Like, it's not like that. It's kind of like if you're at a party or something, like a normal, you know, casual party, like nothing crazy, like, you know, like a work thing or something, and some people are having drinks, and they're not like getting crazy because they're not alcoholics, so they're having like 1 or 2 drinks, right? And you're just like, ah. It's not that you want to drink and you don't want to get drunk, you just want to be normal, you know? You want to fit in with everyone else. So it's come up with that. And then the other thing it's come up with, which has been really bad, is it'll be a nightmare. So I'll actually have a nightmare that I'm drinking alcohol. Which is awful because you're not in control. So you don't know that it's not real. So while you're having the bad dream or the nightmare, you think it's real. So you're just getting upset over nothing. So sometimes when you wake up, you have like that guilty feeling and you can't put your finger on it, you know? But then you realize it's a dream, so you're happy, but obviously it is a bad dream. It's a nightmare for you because you've given it up and you don't want to go back to that lifestyle because you know how much it hurt you and how much it cut down on your progress and you growing as an individual, you know? So I will say it has come up for that. It also came up for a trip, actually. We were supposed to be going to Cancun for our honeymoon, my husband and I. We got married at the end of July. So we were going to go to Cancun at the beginning of May to celebrate. However, unbeknownst to us, you know, and to everyone, but our trip was canceled without us knowing. So I received an email apparently, and I didn't know, and like a few weeks before the trip, I was like, oh, this, like when it wasn't that bad yet, like it was bad, but it wasn't like you can't go anywhere bad yet, you know? Like they were still letting people travel. But I was like, oh, maybe I should check that, you know? So I went and I checked it, and it was canceled. And the sucky part about it being canceled is that all that money, it was $3,000 for the trip, hasn't been paid back on my card yet. I gave the credit card company proof that they canceled it without my knowledge and, you know, that I'd been charged. Still haven't gotten the money back yet. So that's kind of frustrating because when you call these places, you can't even get through because people are just so busy answering other people's questions about their mortgage and bills they can't pay because they're not working right now because of the coronavirus. So, but it did come up because I was kind of like, well, I kind of want to drink like during our trip because I know I'm going to be safe, right? Because I'm not going to be driving. We're going to be on a resort, and there's literally, I mean, there is a lot of stuff to do on the resort. Like if you're sober, you can still have a lot of fun, like a lot of fun. But a part of the fun is having drinks that night and going to karaoke and enjoying a drink with dinner and having drinks by the pool. It's kind of like a big part of an all-inclusive adult-only vacation, right? Now, mind you, when I had signed up for the trip, I hadn't really given it that much thought, right? Like, it kind of crossed my mind. I guess I was kind of, like, lying to myself, which we all know how that goes, right? And so then, once the trip was booked and everything, I started really thinking about it. And I talked to my friend about it. And they were like, oh, well, you should talk to your husband. I'm like, oh, God. Oh, yeah. So I got to check with my husband. So I did, and because we're a partnership, and I'm not going to keep stuff from him because, lies, that doesn't help a relationship, that just hurts it. So I brought it up to him, and he's like, yeah, I think that's kind of playing with fire, like, you probably shouldn't do that. But now that the trip's been canceled, it doesn't matter because I'm not, But anyways, so as far as like a trip in the future goes, I will consider it more this time. Consider it in terms of like, okay, the trip that we're doing, does it need to be all inclusive? Because maybe we can just get a meal ticket or something, or maybe we can do something that doesn't include alcohol or whatever. Because this way it's just safer, because to be truthful, if you are an alcoholic, whether you're recovered or not, and you go on a trip that's all inclusive and there's no risk really of you getting hurt, besides just like embarrassing yourself, or if you're really bad drunk, like you're an a-hole, then you're gonna be like playing with fire. Also personally, because of the coronavirus and everything else that's been going on, what I wanted to do for a long time was open up my own business, which was personal training. So I had told you guys that when I was an alcoholic that I wasn't focusing on the things that mattered and were important to me. And I was in an abusive relationship where the person I was with was so insecure and so controlling and so jealous that they wouldn't let me go to the gym and work out. When I say they wouldn't let me, it's not that they wouldn't physically let me, it's that I would go to the gym, for example, and while I was there, this person would be texting me the entire time accusing me of cheating on them. So when I was at the gym trying to relieve myself of stress and to get healthy, this person was attacking me in my church and my sanctuary, So once I was able to get out of that relationship and I did get stronger as an individual, I was still drinking a lot heavier because I was trying to cope with the abuse, the narcissistic abuse that I had experienced. And flash forward months and months. 3 years ago, literally, I had gotten my education, I got my certification, and I started working at a corporate gym, which I'm not going to go into that right now. If you have any questions about that kind of life or what they pay or anything, please feel free to reach out to me. It is a first job, I'll just say that. And having come from literally working since I was 17, and having to experience a lot of the behaviors that I had kind of grown out of as I got more professional and into my career, it's just kind of frustrating to have to experience that again. So what happened was, because of the coronavirus and everything else, as you guys are probably well aware, trainers, we don't have jobs right now. Group fitness instructors, we don't have jobs right now. The people who had that as their primary income were especially hit hard. So I myself am unemployed right now. However, what I did is I started doing virtual one-on-ones. I started doing online boot camps. And it's actually been really rewarding. For the first 2 weeks, I was really depressed. I was really sad because, that was my life. My whole passion and everything is all about fitness. Literally, like everything's about fitness for me. So, you know, I lost my passion. And then I was like, you know what? I need to get out of this. I need to start looking at this as an opportunity, like I've said before. And I need to start focusing my energies in a positive way that's going to help me grow and help other people grow. So I did. And after a long time, because it had been going on so long, since I think around the beginning of March, let's say March 10th, because I don't actually remember the exact date. It might have been later than that. But now it's the end of May, right? May 21st. And we are being told by our governor that we can't open gyms back up till the end of June. Well, lucky for me, about a week ago, I was like, you know what? I'm going to get a logo made for my business. And I had this great idea because my last name's White. Let's do A White Fitness. And I'm all about female empowerment. I'm all about people empowerment, but especially female. So I was like, let's have a shark, like a great white female shark, doing a really cool bicep curl like Rosie the Riveter. And I want her to have like a bandana, not like a bow. But because I want her to still be feminine. Like I want her to be very, very tough and strong, but also have that like softness to her. So I hooked up with this guy in Arizona, and he did this amazing work. His name is Von Butch. Von Butch, if you guys ever want to get in touch with him. He's a really cool, down-to-earth guy, very normal. His prices are really reasonable. So I ended up getting that logo, and it was just like a whole game changer for me. Just so much more professional, and, you know, putting my image out in the world. So after that, you know, because I have a lot of time on my hands, okay? I do boot camp 3 times a week. I've got 2 clients during the week, and that's pretty much it. I mean, I do a lot of stuff around the house, obviously, to keep my mind occupied. I do reading and everything else, but I mean, there's only so much you can do where you're just like, feel like a hamster on a wheel. So I created a Facebook page. I got business cards ordered, so on and so forth. And I can tell you right now, again, if I was drinking, none of this would have happened. I may or may not have married my current husband because he literally had a mental breakdown one day and was like, you need to stop. And that's about the time that I was like, yeah, I need to stop. You're right, I do. I need to really attack this and make it a non-issue in our relationship, because I don't want to hurt you and I love you. And, you know, when you have someone special in your life, you make sacrifices, and it was like a no-brainer for me. Obviously, when you're addicted to drugs and alcohol, it's incredibly hard to give up. However, having someone in your life that loves and supports you definitely makes it a lot easier. Because when I first gave up alcohol, he had like a little mini fridge with beer in it, and he just got rid of all of it. I think it was like the day I gave up alcohol, he was just like, bye. Like, for him, again, he was just like, you know what? This is affecting our relationship in a negative way, and this is more important. This relationship is more important than this item, object, whatever you want to call it. So he got rid of it. That's why, for me, having, you know, been in recovery for over 3 years, which I realize, like, that's still at its infancy, right? But to me, looking back, the first 3 months were absolute hell. Like, I could not see myself 3 years from then. You know what I mean? Like, the first 3 months, I was like, I can't do this. This is too hard. You know, having to face all those demons. But I promise you, if you work at it, it does get better. And I literally, on days that were really bad, I would just focus from one moment to the next. Seriously. I'd be like, okay, I'm up. I'm going to have some coffee. Okay, I had some coffee. Now I'm going to do this. You know, like, to get through the day. So what frustrates me about what I was going to say is that when I hear about people who are trying to give up alcohol or drugs and their partner, husband, wife, whoever, doesn't support them, their family doesn't support them, that, if you're listening, family members of people who have drug and alcohol problems, think about how your behavior affects them. Because when they see you doing something that is normal, it makes them feel worse, and it doesn't help their recovery. So you, as a family member, as a husband, as a wife, you need to make a choice and say, what's the priority here? And it frustrates me to no end when the husband, wife, whoever doesn't see how it's hurting the person that's trying to give up the alcohol or drug. So please consider that. And again, think, what is more important? Is your sister, your brother, your husband, your wife important to you? Then you don't need to drink. Very easy. So I want to keep it short, guys, and I will just end right there, and I will make another video soon. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I do check them, obviously, and I can always answer them at some point, okay? Hope you're having a great day, and, you know, try to stay positive and stay safe. Thank you. You.